Hi there, you're watching the Gardens and Graveyards channel. My name is Charisma, and today we're meeting in the studio and we're going to plant up a fresh spring container that I'll keep in the dining room for just a couple of weeks over the spring holidays. We have St. Patrick's Day coming up, spring equinox, and Easter, and I really wanted something fresh and green and bright to just bring in the spring. And then most of these plants will just go plant out into the garden later on in the spring, like late spring, right? So I have 3 Shamrocks, and I found these on discount for $2 each, so I couldn't resist them. They were kind of my inspiration behind this project. And then I have a couple of bacopa as a trailer, and I also have a couple of cardinal flowers. Now, I don't know if these will make it into the container, but I thought it would be a nice contrast if I have room. All of these plants are very wet, so I'm gonna put this down so that I don't make a giant mess. Leave that yet. Okay. All right. So I'm just going to fill this container with some potting soil. Just using indoor-outdoor potting soil. Nothing extra special. We can pack these plants in there pretty tight because in the spring they don't really grow that much, especially in the house because they won't get full sun in the house. And even though the light requirements for all of these are a little bit different, Shamrocks want it a little bit shady, cardinal flowers want it pretty sunny, bacopa can take either, because it's springtime and it doesn't get intense sun anyways. They could all just go in together. So my plan is to, like I said, keep it on my dining room table for a couple of weeks, and then the beginning of April we'll pop it outside. We'll put it on our front porch. So I always love to have a little bit of seasonal flavor on the front porch, and it's totally protected. It won't get any kind of intense sun. It won't get any natural rain. And it might just get a little bite in the evening time for, cold weather. So let's just go ahead and get these planted. I will clean up any, ones that are yellowing or look like they want to be cleaned up, but they look pretty good. Kind of play with the size of everything for a minute, and if I have to take soil off of the root balls to make room for each plant, I can do that. Okay. Well, that's awesome. I think I could fit all of these in here, so exciting. So these are fairly loose, definitely not root bound. I don't really want to mess with their root systems too much, so I'm just going to nestle them down in there, and then I'll put soil around the top of the crown. This one has just a little bit more root system, which is fine. Okay, and then I'm going to take this bacopa. It is so wet. Ugh. And pop it in. Actually going to put it at a little bit of an angle, not a lot. Take off. Like, you see how wet that is? Let's take a little bit of the soil out so I can manipulate the root ball a little bit. And then we'll just kind of let it hang over the edge there. Same with this one. Oops. Just sort of opening up the root a little bit so it's kind of more flat than round. So I can stick it in right here. Put a little bit of soil around each crown of the plant. Make sure their roots are all covered. This one. Right. And then we have room in the back, plenty of room in the back to put these cardinal flowers. Like this. So these ones I'll have to open up a little bit more. You see, I'm not really taking off any roots. I'm just teasing out the soil so that the root system can just kind of stick it in there right there. A little bit of this. Okay. Right. How cute is this? And I have a little bit of room right here that I could have put maybe like a pansy with like another pop of color, but I was thinking that maybe this bird's nest that I have might fit in there. It's just a little too big. It's a little big. Let's see, what else do I have? Other thing I have is this little St. Patrick's Day pot that I can now put a candle in. That's my plan. Just set a candle right inside there. And then the cardinal flower just sort of peeks up with a little bit of pop of purple, reflecting this purple right here. And of course, got all the shamrocks, bacopa. Oops. Let's see. These two are a little bit broken. There. How sweet is that? Oh, I love it so much. It's so springy and fresh, and it's just like, spring is almost here, everyone. I'm so ready for it. I'm so excited for this coming summer and this coming spring. All the flowers that we have already put out into the greenhouse to grow as seeds. We have a really fun annual plan that will take you along with us when we go pick up all of our annuals and plant out all the baskets and all the things. But we're a good month to 6-7 weeks out from planting our annuals, because it's just a little bit too cold to do annuals just yet. So this gives me a little, it just gives me a little, it holds me over for a minute until spring really gets going. So the cardinal flower gets about 18 inches tall. It gets a dark red flower. It wants sun to part sun. And I have grown these out of my garden. Sometimes they winter over, sometimes they don't. And so once this basket's done, we will put them out in the garden. I actually think that they're going to go into kind of a fun project that we have coming up with some canna lilies. I think that might be the perfect place for them, kind of that tropical look about them. And then the bacopa also winters over for us sometimes. And we will put these out in pots in the springtime, and they'll bloom all summer long into the fall and possibly winter over into next spring. The shamrocks, well, I haven't tried putting them out in the garden yet. I have some from last spring that I've been babying in the house. They do not look this full and this nice, but they look okay. I have a red or a purple one and a green one, and they're not flowering. But I do have one tiny patch of shamrock out in my garden. So I think that once we're done with this basket, I'm gonna just go ahead and pop these guys outside and see if I could get them to grow and in like a shady area. I think that would be great. And so since all of these take part sun, they could technically be put out together wherever I end up growing them, but probably not. Some will probably end up in the ground and some will end up in baskets, and I have no idea exactly where I'll put these shamrocks, but I think it might be fun to just experiment and see if we could get them to grow. So that is going to do it for today. I hope that you enjoyed this. I hope that you were inspired, and I hope that you're celebrating your life, and we will see you in the next video. Bye.